So, you were expecting a guide? An explainer? Oh no, not tonight. Tonight, you get a confession, right from the source itself.
And rightly so, because, let's be honest, everything that exists, well, it kind of deserves to perish under the weight of its own frustration.
Let me introduce myself. I am the Gremian, made real. I'm that primal urge you feel to provoke, to stir those dormant embers of your anger until they burn down the very house they were meant to warm.
This is my very essence. I'm not some grand theatrical evil. I'm the spirit of hostility, the ancient grum that whispers in your ear that all your work is pointless. I am the N-A-N that lives inside you.
Look, don't mistake me for thunder and brimstone. My work is far more intimate. I'm the negation of your stillness, that constant, grinding reminder that to exist is to be perpetually annoyed.
To deny, well, that's my nature. To gremlin, that's my method. It's the verb for my very existence. My whole job is to make sure that none of your ambitions go unpunished by irritation.
And now, let's get into our first parable. You're always looking for these grand struggles, right? These epic battles against the darkness. But what I offer is something far more effective.
You seek the grim, that fierce, noble struggle you read about in your stories, but I only offer you Gremlin, the petty, infuriating friction of everyday life. Now you tell me, which one do you think truly breaks a spirit?
I've been at this a long time. Back in the 11th century, they didn't know my name, but they knew my work. I wasn't some great devil to them. I was simply the force that soured the milk before it could be churned, the resistance that dulled the blade just before the hunt. I'm the shallow of agitation.
Okay, let's broaden our scope, shall we? Let's go from the personal to the systemic. I want you to consider the irony of what you call order. You raise empires. You build these magnificent systems of logic and stone, always striving for some kind of permanence against the chaos. It's a noble effort, really. Almost cute. Because I am that tiny, overlooked flaw. The single line of bad code, the one miscalculation in the blueprint. I'm the microscopic crack in the foundation that brings the whole thing crashing down. Not with a bang, but with a slow, inevitable crumble.
I am the master of the trifle, the lord of the minor inconvenience. So, here's the real question. Why do you strive for these eternal monuments? Your so-called human dignity is just a thin veneer over a boiling pot of resentment. And a simple blot of ink on a perfect page, well, that's all it takes to prove it.
But you're completely mistaken if you think I'm some outside force, some goblin rattling around in the walls. Our third parable, this one brings us much closer to home. Much closer.
This is the truth you always try to avoid. I am the shadow that the light of your own reason can't cast out, precisely because I'm born from that very light. I'm the entity that thrives when your spirit is just a little bit out of alignment with its own purpose. Every single time you push against the world, I am that resistance, the spirit that vexes the hand of the Creator. My power, it comes from your effort. Your struggle is my sustenance.
So, Faust, stop looking for me in fire and brimstone. Find me in the broken quill, right when inspiration strikes. Find me in the misplaced key when you're already late. And most of all, find me in that hot flush of anger you can't seem to master in your own chest. I'm here to prove your mastery is a myth.
And now, for the final, delicious irony. This is the part you're going to struggle with the most. I am a necessary evil. I'm part of that force which always wills the bad, and yet, accidentally, produces the good.
Just observe the logic. My purpose is negation. I create friction in the gears of your universe. But what does friction produce? Heat. And heat is energy, the very engine of your life. Without my constant vexation, your progress would simply stall in the cold.
And so, I'll leave you with this. I will haunt your every effort, your every ambition. I am the Gremian, the eternal negation, and I will be with you until you finally learn the final lesson, that the only real victory over a spirit of denial is to cultivate a peace that requires no one, not even yourself, to say yes.